Is there a saturation in the market right now?
No, I don't think so. I mean, let's put it in context. Amazon shares were up 7% today during the market, and then they just gave it back after the earnings. Margins were strong. Amazon missed a little bit on the top line, although it beat on profit. That fourth quarter guidance was weak, so analysts I think investors are a little worried about that. But Amazon is often kind of conservative, and in terms of the segment slowdown, it's kind of the law of large numbers. Some of these categories like AWS and advertising are growing at three-figure rates, or in AWS's case, around 50%. So it's not a surprise they'd come down slightly.
Bobby, you have unique insights from the inside, and now working with Amazon from the outside. I mean, is there something bigger here to be concerned about a broader slowdown?
Not at all. The advertising business, which is where I've had my experience, it's a very, very large market, and particularly the digital point of purchase, which is a $225 billion industry, is really, really large, and every single brand should be thinking about that as their number one priority for driving presence online.
Now, let's talk about this because, Amazon is a distant third behind Google and Facebook in the digital ad market, but encroaching on their territory. Is Amazon a real threat to Google and Facebook, and if so, when?
I don't believe there is really going to be a lot of shifting between all of those players. What we are entering now is a completely new era of digital marketing. It's that marketing about pointing customers to brands where they're ready to make the purchase. And that's where brands historically have spent billions of dollars in making sure that they have the right presence at the point of sale, they have the right amount of product at their shelves, and they did that for decades at traditional retail. Now, with a platform like Amazon, brands need to start shifting to do the same kind of investment to make sure that they're winning customers at that point of sale. It's different from making sure that they're driving their awareness and consideration, which is what typically other platforms do. So I do believe that this is an opportunity for all the different platforms to continue to grow very aggressively.
Well, that sort of echoes, Brad, what Ruth Porat told me, which was that actually the money that's being spent on Amazon, she believes, is coming from different ad budgets that weren't going to digital ads before, like trade groups and the like. Would you echo that?
Well, I mean, what's so smart about what Bobby helped to create at Amazon is the fact that, not only can advertisers find customers right at the point of sale, right as they're about to buy, but then Amazon can turn around and tell advertisers if the advertisement has resulted in a sale, if they went and they clicked. And so, not a lot of other websites or retail locations can do that. I recently went and put in a search for a refrigerator, and right at the top there's Kenmore. So somehow Sears lives. But every brand either wants to be in that top spot or doesn't want to not be there because they're worried their competitor might be there.
So, Bobby, your company just raised $3.5 million. Clearly, you see an opportunity to leave Amazon. How big do you think that opportunity is?
I think there's a tremendous opportunity. Like Brad mentioned, there's brands that are competing for being present at that point of sale. Customers tend to buy the products that they find, and what we're building at Gradient.io is really machine learning that helps take all the information to optimize that presence for the brands. There is not one person that you can go talk to secure that placement, to secure that presence when you're working with Amazon, as you did with traditional physical retail stores. So it's really the work of machines and algorithms that will help brands be successful in this new area. And that's the opportunity that I saw in building our company at Gradient.io.
Brad, walk us through some of the other strands here. Whole Foods, Amazon Prime, Prime Video.
Well, for the first time, the revenues from the physical stores was down slightly from the previous quarter. And so, for Whole Foods, I think they've got some stuff to figure out in the stores. What that category doesn't show is how Whole Foods is driving online shipment of groceries for Amazon. So there are about 60 cities now, including here in San Francisco, where you can order online from Whole Foods and have it delivered. So Whole Foods is paying off in other ways, but physical store slowdown in revenue. It's curious because obviously they've been adding bookstores and Amazon Go stores. Prime, the CFO talked a little bit about how they were changing how they organize some of the revenue from Prime. I won't get into it. They're amortizing it differently. They're saying that's spreading out the subscription revenue more evenly throughout the year. It used to be weighted more towards the back half of the year. as with all these things, it's hard to make sense of the numbers right away. But clearly the law of large numbers is kicking in for Amazon.
Now, Bobby, obviously holiday season coming up, which is always huge for Amazon. What are some new trends you're going to be watching for and that we're going to be seeing when it comes to what Amazon is showing us, advertising and consumer behavior?
Well, Q4 is definitely a very important season for every single brand. As more and more of the purchases are moving to online, I think brands need to be very constant. They need to be trained and need the new tools to be able to take advantage of those trends. What's been really interesting is to see a lot of the new direct-to-consumer brands really utilizing platforms like Amazon to start encroaching in incumbent brands. And they're doing it because it's the platform and the algorithms and the ability to use tools and platforms like what we're developing to help them drive those sales. So I would say you need to embrace the tools, need to embrace technology, you need to learn about what this digital point-of-sale marketing is all about to be able to take advantage of that huge surge that's happening in Q4.
Brad, will it be another happy holiday for Amazon?
I mean, look, Amazon's 3 or 4% of overall retail in the U.S. There's such a long runway. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that all the kind of tailwinds are working on Amazon's behalf.